what's up, everybody? It's the Two Live Crew. What up, though?
What up, though?
What up, though? We got a special guest in the building, Dawn P from Detroit East Side. Represent. And you know we got stick to the script, and he stick to the script. And of course we got representing the church ladies of Atlanta, First Lady Sasha. What's going on, everybody? Thank you for joining us. Trixie will be back with us next time. Shout out to Trixie. We love you. It's been a lot going on, so we're gonna talk about our trending topic. And we'll start out with the first one, which is a little positive, because anytime you say this guy's name, you think positivity. Will Smith. Okay. So Big Willie. So I don't know if you know the rapper Joyner Lucas. He did a video.
I'm feeling like Will. I think I'm a prince. I'm feeling myself. I'm loaded with bills because I wasn't blessed with no Uncle Phil. Don't know how.
Very creative.
It was very creative.
Yeah, and it was like all about Will Smith. So I don't know. I think I got like favorite people, but I don't know if I would ever like make a song and video about him.
Right.
But, you know, I'm not as dedicated. But he did all the Will Smith characters. And so Will being the social media, he jumped on the track. You think he arrogant?
Yeah.
So tell us about it.
Like he said, people think he's corny.
They do.
Like, right. But I think that's like a hurt place for him. Like, and he was addressing it, like, you know, because I'm one of them people, I'm big on words. If you're going to say the words, you got to mean the word. Mm-hmm. And I was trying to find his meaning behind it, and that's what I thought. I'm like, oh, somebody a little hurt about being corny. Like, that's not what he wanted to put out there, but that's what people accepted him as. You know what I'm saying?
Me and Jazz in the late 80s, writing rhymes, make tapes daily. Fresh Prince make the babes crazy. Rest in peace to James Avery. Even when the streets call me corny, I still ain't never let the hate break me. I just wanted the respect first. I still ain't never letting fame change me. Knew me.
When my mama gave me money to give my friend a present, I was like, oh, this Will Smith. So I got him the vinyl. You know, that was all. I was like, this is dope, because he had a record player. And so I remember giving it to him for his birthday. He was like, okay. And this was the first album. And I was like, I wonder why he react like that, because I bought myself the tape too. And I was bumping it. I was jamming, yeah. And later on, he was like, you know what, Tanya? He was like, that album was good. Like, so.
Like he was
shy. It was a happy album. It was a happy
album. And it was genuine. It was true to who he was. I feel like when rappers mess up, when they do the MC Hammer humps and a bump or whatever. Remember when MC Hammer tried to change his image to go with the times? Just be you, be MC Hammer. And if your time is out right now, you can't rap, get into
But Humps and a Bumps was always a dance tune. He never went off track. It was a dance tune.
He got, I just can't.
It's like sticking head in his head, huh?
The wardrobe changed, but
the wardrobe changed. Oh, Lord.
I mean, it was always dance music.
No, I looked at that video like.
It's two versions. It's two versions of the video. There's two versions of the video.
So you got the raunchy saw the one. Speedo.
You got the other one. Yeah, you got two.
But do y'all remember when he went gangster though? When he had on like that black hat and those glasses? It was unauthentic. I believe in what is it, authenticity. Like I feel like that's what's gonna carry you on. You can't go with these little internet people say they'll drag you each way. But yeah, so I really enjoyed Will Smith's first album. I was a child, and if I put on like Summertime and stuff like that, there's still
that's my favorite. I'm bang that now.
So
Summertime,
anybody else got something to say about his flow on that?
Like he's telling secrets to me.
Well,
he's getting it off his chest. They say I'm corny. I'm so corny that I got this guy making
a whole song, and he said he was perfect in that too.
You know,
He did
And
it.
I was listening.
Yes.
Well, and not only that, was he perfect, but he talked about, he gave himself accolades and said, and then I went and created my whole team, my own team. I was like, oh,
and I give him props for that. I do give him props for that. But he's just so arrogant to me. But it's like, because he want to prove that he's not that corny person.
I don't think he cared.
I don't think he cared. I think
if he didn't, he wouldn't have said it.
Because I looked at the first time Joyner met Will Smith, and he really pumped Will Smith up during that little interview. Mm-hmm. So then for you to record that after this man blew your head up, I was this, I was that, and Joyner was right behind him pushing it. So, you know, hey, who gonna stop you? You bigger than life.
Yeah, his characters were.
Yeah, his characters were. But he did just one more in defense of my boy Will, Big Willie.
I love Will. And I just said.
Okay.
That's what I felt. That's what I felt when I heard it.
Okay, but he did mention greats like Muhammad Ali and all those.
Yeah, he did.
If we were to give the song Fagos, okay, with 5 Fagos being the max, how many would you give Will Smith on this one?
I'll give him 5. I mean, it was clever. Everything you said was clever, but I just, I really too much emphasis. I'll give him 5 Fagos.
All right. I'll give him 4. I'll give him 4 Fagos. Probably 3.5, 4. I felt like
that's what I was about to say. For me, 3.5.
He didn't sound like outdated like I expected him to. Like it sounded pretty good, but it's not like, oh, let me throw on that.
I guess that kind of just threw me the way it even started about how Joyner he made a song about a man. It's not like, okay, well, you listening to Boys to Men and they singing about mama, or you listening to somebody talk about my lady, or, it was different for me.
Right. I just think it was about his characters. He was impressed by. I don't even know if I felt like he was really impressed by Will Smith.
And it could be like when you know people like Will Smith see your stuff and pump it, right. You could do something to get their attention. Because I think I'm gonna do some Erykah Badu music video.
Oh, there she goes, Sid. There she goes, Sid. I believe that was a jab.
Let's move on.
Okay.
I wish I had a gavel, didn't it? Like the jury's in. Let's talk about Lil Boosie. First lady, you know anything about this?
Is this a whole?
Oh no. No, I can't hear him, but the title says it all. What?
But see, them titles be fooling people. I want to hear the content of this whole thing.
I'm training them boys right. Ask in there my nephew. Ask in them. Ask my son. Yeah. They were 12, 13. They got head. Yeah. That's how it's supposed to be. Yeah. Yeah, I got my son fixed up. You right. Yes, a grown woman. Grown, super grown. Super grown. Check their ass out. Checked all my nephews out. Super grown. Is she grown? She checked me out. I know what the she did to them.
So the headlines read Boosie.
Basically, paid to have his son molested. That's what it said.
It said, and his nephews.
And his nephews. Like, he is paying for these kids to be molested. And that's not even the content. See, I hadn't watched it. But see how they just threw that man under the bus and ran him over back and forth.
But he did, though.
He said to TMZ he wouldn't do that. Mm-hmm. That's what he said. I mean, if you talking trash, I guess you really got to know a person. Like, if you put that out there, you think I'm going to hold some weight to it? I mean, we don't really know Boosie, but so...
Would we ever say something like that? No, we wouldn't, because you already know that that's wrong. Like, you would never insinuate that you would get that for your son.
That's true. That's true. Okay. But trash talk is trash talk, no matter what.
So you think it was trash talk?
I
You
think it
don't
was
think it's
trash
true?
talk to his son, whatever verbal relationship they had. That's what I think that was. Like that's they lingo, like they talk that, and it just happened to be all over the internet.
Talking about, I don't believe he would do that, or
I don't.
let's just say this: I don't think he would promote it to the public because he knows the controversial things he said in the last couple of months, with even the last little bit of that video with the Wade. So him saying that and actually going through with it or trying to make it actually happen would be a real no-no, and in the public eyes towards him. So I
And
think
he
it
like
was
he
just
said,
some talk.
yeah, I think he was talking trash, and he a parent, and I have watched him in his show, and
Yeah, sure.
he love his kids, and like he said, the little boys and girls at that age is in heat, and he's 14 years old, and he's popular.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
So
Okay. Well,
I
I
can
think.
see him saying to his dad, "Somebody want to give me some head." I can see because they have a relationship. Like if you ever watch they live, like he is for real with his kids. Like he
Mm-hmm.
don't baby talk them. He don't.
Right.
He like motherfucker, you got to do good in school, or you ain't getting
Right.
this
Yep.
car. That's the
Right.
type of dad he is.
So
So
he
I
has no
can
filter with his children. He's just
right.
out
Yeah.
there.
Like he has
Yep.
no filters. He has concerns for
Mm-hmm.
them to be better and great. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like
Mm-hmm.
they go to school and in good grades. He always promoting how smart they are. But
He
you
Yeah.
doesn't.
know,
He doesn't sugarcoat the world from them. He
no,
actually
he
does.
doesn't.
I'm gonna say I feel like Bootsy would definitely get that done for his children because I feel like
Wow.
he believes, yeah, like I think like he's a good parent. I feel like, but he has his own flaws and he's raising his
Mm-hmm.
children with them. And I feel like, especially how he went off
That's
on
deep.
Dwayne Wade's daughter, whatever, his daughter, her son,
Son,
whatever.
But
son,
that's the same thing. But I mean, that's the
son,
same thing. Like
Uh-huh.
Stick still on that. He said, son, get it
son.
right,
But
son.
I think this is what I'm saying. Like, I just feel like you don't even think that way. You would never think that you can say, I'm gonna pay for somebody, a grown woman, to do that to my son, unless you
did
digging
he
that
say
well.
grown woman? Did
He
he
said
say?
grown woman. Just
Oh, he
go back
said,
and
yeah.
listen to it again.
I
Yeah.
know.
And I think it's kind of that extra masculinity thing. Like, I'm gonna let y'all know what a woman is.
Mm-hmm.
So you,
Like a
when
rite of
these
passage.
little people try to come up on y'all will know, you want a
Mm-hmm.
woman because you've already experienced the woman. I think
Right.
probably got something to do with that. But what I think he's
Yeah.
doing is introducing them to sex early, so they, even though they smart, they ain't gonna be able to focus in school. They gonna be thinking about getting their thing sucked. That's just my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Like
But
they're,
that don't mean. What if they don't even like it?
yeah,
A
Right
true,
grown
now,
woman.
true,
hopefully.
A
but
grown woman.
true,
What you
but
say, Steve?
A grown woman.
a grown woman. But
Yeah.
what if they don't
Can
like?
you even get yourself for? I mean, well,
But that's
I don't
just
know.
like anybody
You
getting
don't know.
molested. Like
Right.
a lot of
Molested.
people, a lot of women are hoes, excuse my language, just for the simple fact that they had some sexual childhood trauma. And he's
Mm-hmm.
putting them through
Men too.
sexual, yeah,
But you
men
know
Cause
what?
too.
I
Man,
put, cause I
yeah.
think if you push that onto a kid, a man push that onto a kid, and this is my personal opinion, I think
Hmm.
you have some type of sexual issue.
Yeah, it's a cycle.
Right.
You got
It's a
some
Right.
cycle.
demons in you
Yeah.
that you don't want to deal with.
Yeah.
Well, that's
Hmm.
Quiet as
known. Hurt people hurt people.
quiet as kept. When you talk to men as they get older, it's like a brush off. But some guys have been taken advantage of and molested at a couple years younger than his nephews and his son, and they'll just kind of shrug it off like, yeah, it happened. I don't know if it actually affected them to not have productive or healthy relationships, but you could tell when you talk to other men that it did bother them. But
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
it shows it helps with the non-commitment that we have out here, or is portrayed on men, or the men culture. You can't be faithful, so you gonna cheat regardless
Right.
of how you do things, good
Mm-hmm.
or positive, that's going on in your life that outside the relationship. So when it comes to Bootsy, I think he can. Just to add to this, he has enough popularity, money, connections to where he can do it with his children. I'm going to say, yeah, he can. I don't think he'll do it right now, but you still got your 18th, 16, Well, I'm gonna say 18th birthday and 21st birthday. I know he gonna show out for his boys and his nephews if he takes care of them. He's proud of them. He wants them to be men and have fun, and he wants to get away from that. What he mentioned a couple months ago about the Wade situation. So I'm gonna leave it at that.
Right. He trying to leave a mark. I get what Stick's saying.
The situation is different, like, because 12 years old, like, you really, you don't, you've been using
but it's that but it's that masculinity thing that, man, you want your son who you hope to raise to, and if you're hetero, you want your son to follow in your steps. Men don't just sit down and talk. We're going to show you a different way. That's just what men are. We're going to show you. We're not going to be like, well, you should mess with women. No, I'm about to show you what you. All I'm saying is, I think where Boosie is coming from, where a lot of men, you see how culture is influencing our children, and it's moving them towards the lost truth or a false truth. All he is trying to show his son, like, this is how I was raised and this is what I was shown. And as his kids have to grow up and they have to learn what's right for them. He's just trying to guide them that way. And that's all I can say. As a man, that is something that you do want to guide your children, your male children, towards.
Yeah, I feel like I agree with Lil Boosie. It's an unpopular opinion, but I agree with Lil Boosie about the Dwayne Wade thing. You know what I'm saying?
I think it's too early to have an opinion on your sex.
Exactly. Like, talking about I'm a girl. No, you're not. When you 18, maybe, and you out of my house, you can be a girl. But right now, I had a boy, and you gonna be a boy. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like, what kind of freedom do you give your child at that age? Like, it's just too free. I don't know.
But then that's just like with Boosie. If his son, we don't know the back end of that conversation.
Okay,
like,
I think you don't want to believe it. That's what I think.
I don't believe he would do that. I just think he was talking.
Okay, so we'll follow up. Shout out to all of their children, even Will Smith's kids. You know, may they live their best lives. You know, I really ain't got time to be worried about it, because I'm still trying to find my life. You know, I'm still trying to get mad. Oh, Sasha, First Lady, did you have something to say about the Lil Boosie thing? I'm sorry, I feel like I left you out.
And what I was saying was, I agree with Steve. You know, men want their male children to be men. So what they try to do is expose them to what they think, quote unquote, manly things are. But sometimes it can play from two different things. They can be to the side where they're almost on the pornographic side, or they can be to the point where they might be shy about it or slow about moving. So that can backfire on either end. So you really have to be careful on how you handle kids and how fast you expose your kids to whatever.
Well, speaking of young men, making the passage from boys to men, I guess you could say, or trying to grow up, and their influences in their life, our hood movie of the week was the 12 O'Clock Boys.
They call them the 12 O'Clock Boys because they drop the bike straight back. If you get to 12 o'clock, you the shit. I've been on this earth for a decade and a couple years. So what that makes me, I'm a grown-ass man.
When I got hit, I hit the tree and got knocked out conscious. I like the rush of it.
Any nigga want it, they can come get it.
This one right here, I don't know where he came from. He just wild.
You gonna hurt yourself on them bikes. Them bikes is dangerous.
Don't matter if I fall, break my arm, anything. I'm hopping back on this bike.
The director of the film is Lofty Nathan. And basically, really what it does, though, is just highlighting that culture of the bike riding. Basically, it's about a little boy who that's all he wanted to do.
That's right.
And the main character, his name was Pug. And so, I looked him up to see how he doing now. Pug, first of all, I fell in love with Pug. Pug was
and
the
his
cutest
whole
little
yes,
thing. I
ever.
was like, he a little hood boy. Like, I don't know where he was
He
getting his
so wanted to be a
mannerisms and
man.
stuff. Yeah, but I
He
was
just
like,
wanted to be a man. Yeah.
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 But he did graduate from high school. I looked him up on Instagram. Pug made it out of high school, so he did something right. But unfortunately, Pug done got in the system. And I believe this was his first arrest. They caught Pug with a gun, with the magazines, and they caught Pug with 246 grams of weed. And he had almost $8,000 in cash on him. So everybody, the hashtag is like free Pug, and it hurt my heart to see that. But I kind of too think the movie was about having a goal and going for it, because you could tell he just wanted to ride, and he was naturally talented at it. You know what I mean? So,
well, in his mind, it signifies something different. Because when he looked at him, he said, "Look at them." He said, "They are free."
Yeah, he did say they was
coming
free.
from a community like his household and the community he was living in, and to see those guys out there enjoying themselves, wind blowing on them, being careless, carefree, and enjoying themselves. He thought that was his idea of freedom. That was being free.
It was one of those.
I thought it was something.
Film festival type of movies. Like, I think it went through that circuit. Like, it won some awards type thing.
Accredited.
Yeah, accredited. Yeah, accredited by the powers that be, But I don't really necessarily too much care about it. But
I like that. I mean, I felt bad for him, and I got issues with someone asking you a question and just recording your comment. And I think that's how they did that boy throughout the movie. Like, they just edited to make it juicy. Like, I think because he did not seem like he was a shy kid.
No, not at all.
Some of the things that he was saying was just weird to me. Like,
just give us an example. Can you remember an example?
Yeah. So when he had said this when he was young in the first beginning part of it, when he was saying that about something always happening here. You remember when he said that?
I kind of remember the tone, but I don't remember the exact part.
But I just don't think I just think that was the end of whatever they asked him, and they put that. I don't think they gave his full piece on it. You know what I'm saying? Like, they just grabbed the juiciest part to keep your attention. But he seemed like a little deep kid to me, because if you remember that scene when the lady had called the cops on them when they was in the parking lot. And the cops was like
trying to get information from him.
And he was like, "I know your brother." And did you see how he turned around? Was like, "Well, how you know my brother?
Right?
How you know my big brother?" You know what I'm saying? And
I don't think that cop knew his brother. He was just trying to get those little kids, like, to tell him information to me.
Right, but just his you could, I don't know, he just
he bent over.
Saw his heart.
Yeah, he was. I think he was hurt. His brother was portrayed as a good kid. Right. But how would the cops not? And the way he said it, I'm like, wow, that was kind of deep to me.
I think what, on the part of the directors, what makes a good movie is that drama and that vulnerability. Like, if we never saw none of that, we wouldn't probably care about Pug. You know what I'm saying? It made me like, oh, like I said, research him afterwards. So I think that's something they have to do. But like I was kind of expressing before, I don't know, and I could be wrong, but when people outside of the culture go in the hood, I mean, deep in the hood,
they find what sound exciting.
Yeah, like, it's exciting. I think that when I saw that, I was like, whoa, they out there doing it or whatever. But it was like, it's police chases. It was an action movie, but it was a documentary. But I always see, how do y'all navigate through the hood like that without no drama? You know what I'm saying? Like, you just got the cameras out and you're running around with these guys, and they said something. It was like, I guess on Sundays when everybody rides, and there's a Sunday ride. So whatever was happening through the week, if people were in different gangs or whatever, it didn't matter on Sunday. Sunday was a peaceful day. I'm just always curious to how those filmmakers do it. Yeah, so you think that they kind of took advantage of Pug?
I do.
The thing about, just to let y'all know, and speaking of Will Smith, I'm glad we talked about him. Will and Jada Pinkett Smith, they are executive producers of a movie was supposed to come out, but COVID messed that up, based on this documentary and Pugs.
Charm City Kings.
Charm City Kings starring Meek Mill. So I'm hoping that this is some revenue for the young man.
You new to Baltimore. You gotta go to the ride.
The ride?
You don't know nothing, do you? The ride. Every Sunday in the summer, everybody with a bike show out. There's bikes as far as you can see. Hold the bike back, a wheel. Stick straight up, so it look like the hands of a clock when they hit midnight.
What's that?
That's Midnight Click. They got the best bikes, the best tricks, the best riders. They just the best. The splits. Midnight Click legend.
So that's who you want to be down with then?
You know damn well the Click ain't getting down with no 7th graders. Last year I was just Miles. This year I'm finna be MNC Mouse. I'm finna be with the Click, and nobody gonna stop me.
You know, a fictional movie based off of this story, so I'm glad it was done. But go ahead, y'all.
I enjoyed it. It was something different. It showed about this bike culture that I heard about in Philly. And I've seen it because Meek Wills used to put a stamp on it. He used to show it in his videos. It was Philly, but I didn't know it was like that in Baltimore. So that was a surprise that it's actually, it has like an East Coast thing. I think it's up in New York too, maybe even Jersey. So there's a different things. And, you know, it could be corrected. I can check, but I know it's in New York because I think that's where Meek Mills had his run in and why he went to jail. And she hit him with the parole violation, or she tried to put his parole, you know, some stuff with his parole.
On top of it, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And that's like what the Rough Riders did too. Sorry.
Right.
And the Rough Riders from New York too, right?
Yeah, and that's a different type of riding too. That's a different type of riding. They ride more the crotch rockets that's faster. This type of ride. These guys like to do wheelies and tricks on their bikes. Same thing with the Rough Riders, but those bikes are more powerful. So I mean, it's a bike culture. But I enjoyed Pug. It was at first I was kind of like, when it comes to children, it can go either way. It can get annoying, or it can be something where you see their innocence and where they grown. Pug started off at like 10 years old. He was running the streets, and I was like, that's something that can go good or bad. It seemed like it was mostly positive outside of him just being out of school a lot, running the streets all day. I wasn't sure if he was a kid that just ran the streets, or he was a kid that liked to just be in the streets, but he had some smarts to him. You saw his innocence.
You saw his innocence.
Things got taken from him. Mm-hmm. Yeah, things got taken from him. He stayed with that bike thing. That was his, First Lady said, that was his way of feeling free. And the key things to me, when you saw where he went from still had a little bit of innocent boy who can sway either way, start to turn into a young man. You can see it on his face.
But you like the movie Sticks?
Yeah. It went. I thought it was going one way. It took me somewhere else, and that's what documentaries do. I got to remember, it's not for entertainment. It's actual life that you're seeing. And remember what you were saying. When other people come in, culture vulturing or whatever you want to call it, trying to put their little lens on it, we got to take that. We got to take that with that grain of salt or sugar. We got to look at it and be like, they're only showing what's entertaining and what they want to see.
It's they live
the poor,
script.
the sick, the drugs, the killing, the negative stuff, how we look like animals or we lost, how we talk a certain way. It sounds like we're not educated. They always want to portray
it's their live script.
Right. We have to look at things and be like, yeah, but also how did they betray the young brother, his family, his neighborhood,
his mom.
And the authorities, how they treat them, the whole culture, how they make us look. It's always the same thing. You think black people just crazy and ignorant and uneducated and just out here wilding. Wow. I was like, well, I can look on the news and see the same thing, but you ain't gonna put that out there.
Did they show the side of when that man, he said, it takes a village to raise a child, and he kind of defended the mother Pug was something different. She wasn't used to that with her parenting style. She was like, he kind of wild, and he was like, she can raise him by herself, but she shouldn't have to. So he was kind of
that was your reality that you had.
That was real.
Mm-hmm.
She's doing the
Yeah.
best she can with what she
I
has,
mean,
but she should
but
have to do
she
it by
didn't.
herself.
She shouldn't have to do it by herself. But that was your reality. You had to.
Right.
You needed to
Mm-hmm.
be just a little bit firmer with him. Because if you see he not his, because he wasn't like your oldest son. So you had to step a little firmer with this second
Mm-hmm.
one. But
Mm-hmm.
you could tell she didn't do it. Because ain't
She
no way
didn't.
you say you keep calling, keep calling, keep calling when you get up and go get.
Mm-hmm.
He knew where the line
You
was.
didn't
He knew where the line with
right.
his mom
You
was.
didn't put him
He
in
could
the
do.
street, but you let him. You opened the door for him. You know what I'm
Let
saying?
him keep
Mm-hmm.
going. She spoiled him. I was
Oh
wondering
yeah.
how he was able to get those bikes, go get
Mhm.
gas. How was he able to, he had a
Mm-hmm.
cell
Mm-hmm.
phone. Like, you spoil him. Take those things away.
Mhm.
You don't get, if you want him home at a certain time, you can't give him that bike. You got to wait on
Yeah.
him.
Right.
Yeah. Run
You
it.
got to wait on him.
But he didn't go to school for doing
Oh, my-
a whole month. He went to school 1 or 2 days, and then she got to go to court. And her whole thing was, I'm gonna just let them do whatever they got to do. That's just
Right.
not what you do.
That's not what you do.
And
Right.
I don't know if that's just me as a parent to a young man or what, but no, that's not what you do. Now, this is what I tell my son, because he's around the same age as Pug. As long as you're right, I'm going to support you. But when you're wrong, I'm going to be the first one to call you out. And you're going to either fix it or I'm going to help you fix it.
Yeah, she wasn't a very good disciplinarian. I don't want to talk about people's mom, but whatever. But yeah, the
She
discipline thing,
wasn't.
she was like, "What's that?" And then
She just fell off after the first. He wasn't like the first boy.
he
Like
wasn't like the first boy. She didn't know
she
what to
just felt. She didn't
expect.
know
Like,
what
she
to
was
do.
like,
Right.
"I
She
don't
just
know where
laid
he
there.
came. I don't know where he
Right.
get this from. Like, he's not like the other one."
No,
She was hurt all through that
she
movie.
was hurt.
She was.
She was
Yeah,
hurt. But
yeah.
I think she was hurt after her and her baby daddy didn't last long after those 4 kids. Cause
Well, even before the kids, she was hurt.
she was
In the
yeah.
strip club, she met him. They
Uh-huh.
was on and off
Cause she was.
before they started having kids. So it was a mess before
It
kids
was
got
a
on the
mess.
scene.
Like
It
the most heartfelt part of that was when he was sitting in that church, you know what I'm saying? And
Mhm.
everything was going on around him, but he was just kind of stuck. And I was like, this is the part of filmmaking where you don't need no voice over all of that. You kind of feel what's going on with him, and all the little older ladies come up and whisper in his ear and hug him and love on him a little
His
bit.
little tiny self.
Yeah, a little cute stuff. So
Yeah.
yeah, it was kind of one of those things. Even when he was fishing, same thing. A little lady like, "What you gonna do when you grow up?" You know what I'm saying? You could tell he had the heart of the community. I feel like
Yeah.
he had like your church ladies, and he also had the gangsters. Like the little blood, little da 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 da. So but
Yes, he did.
so I hope he when he get out of jail, y'all, I hope you don't have to do a lot of time and all of that. But I don't know. I hear it's stricter out there with the gun laws and stuff. And his posts on Instagram, I'm gonna read his caption real quick. Mr. HBO.
That's it.
So it says on his little prison picture, he got the khakis on and stuff like that. He was getting tattoos. His mom let him get a tattoo when he was a baby. But
Man, that was crazy. At a tattoo party.
At the house. Really?
11 to 12 years old. I was like,
so he wrote this. So he been in jail a little longer than I thought.
He said, I ain't stressing or complaining.
See, he's been
he
been an old soul a long, long time.
He has.
Yeah. He said it just come with being a champ.
Oh. Yeah.
Emoji. This emoji.
Right.
Just come with being a champ.
He taking it like a champ.
Let me see. Yeah, you got to. You know the path he made. What the picture look like?
And I was so happy when I saw this one.
Yeah.
His graduation picture.
Right.
Yeah. Because he wasn't going to school. I ain't know anybody. All right, let's get a movie some Fagos then, y'all. And you can say any last thing you want to say.
I would give it 5 Fagos because, like he said, it is a documentary because this is his life. Now, I hate that his rite of passage was the way it was. And, I pray that he will learn something because, in life, there's no failures. You either learn or you succeed. So I'm praying that he learns something from this. And that's my thing, but I give it 5 Fagos.
I'm gonna go with 5. It took me somewhere where I thought I didn't want to go, but I'm glad I ended up staying for the ride, watching it, and absorbed it. I enjoy where he has entertainment value. He gives off whatever that factor is that people love to see what's going next, because he has that ability where he can take people somewhere, or he can have people follow him, and hopefully he has a direction in his life, whatever that is. I hope it's positive. I hope that he's gonna be a leader that doesn't lead blind, because Hub just has it, and it kind of reminds me of some things like when you look at Allen Iverson and stuff like that. He just that little fella that actually is bigger than his physical stature. That's what I'm saying. I gave it 5 Fagos. It was a good story.
I gave it 5 Fagos because he said when he fall off that bike, even with a broken arm, he getting back on there. And that's just what he gave me throughout this whole movie. Like he fell and got right back up. No matter what troubles he, carried, he still got back up. And that's what he gave me. He gonna make it.
Yeah, and I think everybody agree he's like the people's champ. Like I don't know, like when you sometimes see movies like this, I don't think like this, but I know a lot of people think like this. Oh my God, what white people think about us now is so ghetto, it's so hood. But I feel like everybody, we families, you should be able to connect. Not all black people. You seen the Cosby's and all that. We don't all. It's different. It's different subsets. Right. Everybody, we don't have that type of culture. All of us. But when you see this, you can still see that even though the family had hardships, they dysfunctional. They were still good people. You know what I'm saying? Still good people.
And he still was a good kid.
And he was a great kid. And what you said. He is a natural leader, and I hope you monetize off of this and somehow, because people get paid just to show up at parties and stuff. I just hate that he, in the situation he is now, but maybe, like First Lady said, he can grow from this. He still got a lot of time. And I hope something.
How old is he now?
He only 19 or something. He might be 20.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I thought he was 9. And when his mama said 13, I'm like, well, okay.
Yep, he was a little.
But she said he was small for his age.
Yeah, she said, I think the movie started, he might have been 10.
He was 10.
So, he was 10 when it first came on.
Yeah, and they filmed for a little bit over 3 years.
Yeah, it was a 3-year time span. So you saw him grow up, but he didn't really grow that.
No, he didn't grow.
It was just his face.
But
his face. That was it.
Yeah.
He dropped a lot of gems in there, like even how you said when he was like, "You ain't a good writer until after you fall." And he some people, he was like,
"Oh,
he was an old soul." So I was like, I'm curious, like who?
Some people go in the house after that, and some some people fall and they go in the house. He said, "Not me. I'm gonna get on there with a broken arm." Remember, you gotta remember, we didn't see it. You got to remember, we didn't see it, but he fell. He hurt his hip when he was talking to his auntie. But he said, I'll be straight. I'll be riding tomorrow, or I'll be riding in a couple days.
Yeah.
So he's like, that's just the way it is.
Yeah.
You gotta commend that, because some people do fall. It takes them a long time to get back up.
Yeah. And he knew that. He knew that, and he knew just how to say it too. And that's just deep to me.
He just wanted to be out there on a Sunday night. On a Sunday,
he just wanted to be free.
Ride with the pack. So I'm gonna give it 4 Fagos because I'm talking about with the not the production value of it. Like I felt like with the story, like how they ended. I mean, I guess because it started there and ended like that, but I just was like, you left me hanging on a cliff. But how do you end a documentary? That's hard, especially when you following a day in the life of somebody. So that's a hard thing to do. But it was a solid film. It was a good film. I would recommend it to people, especially when you just you kind of escape your life when you go, I'm like, in Pug's life at this point, I'm like behind the door of this family that I don't know nobody like this, you know what I mean? So it was very entertaining and pulled on my heartstrings, like I say with that little boy. So y'all keep keep little Pug in your prayers.
Prayer.
You know what I'm saying? Maybe send him a letter or something like that. I'm sure he in Baltimore somewhere. Just give him a little support. All right, y'all. That was Two Laugh Crew.
Yes.
Thanks for watching. Right. Hit subscribe, hit like, and keep watching us. Drop in the comments any movies you want us to review. And we'll get with you. All right. Peace.